It's my feel-good breakfast show.
A very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is your feel-good kickstart to the weekend. Having a huge amount of fun this morning. Everyone, in fact, getting their dance on. Hadlee Simons looking nervous that we're going to make him dance this morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for a bit of a tech report this morning. Cool. We are talking all things 360. And we are talking about some pretty futuristic devices. Talk to me about the 360 device. Has the wave actually broken now? Are we seeing the best of what's available? Are we still about to have our minds blown?
So, I mean, when it comes to technology in general, you always kind of recommend people to get the next generation, you know, because the first generation and second generation is always like, you know...
Bugs,
exactly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with 360 cameras, they're a fantastic way to create VR content because everyone's consuming VR content, or a lot of people are consuming VR content. But you have to ask yourself, who's really creating VR content? And 360 cameras can, you know, let you do that. So 360 videos, 360 photos, that sort of thing. It's really a great way. You know?
Commercially, all light bulbs are going off all over the place.
Exactly.
What a cool way to introduce a product or a space, those sorts of things. But who is making 360-degree videos?
Sure. So I think probably the most prominent one would probably be the Gear 360 from Samsung. And then that's compatible with your Samsung devices. Then we also have LG doing the 360 cam. We've got a few third-party guys doing it as well. But in general, I would say the Gear 360 and the 360 cam from LG are both the two most affordable ones, you know, because, I mean, unless you are, like, we have professional cameras as well, but they cost hundreds of thousands of rand, whereas this is, you know, pretty much, you know, 4,000 or something. So not too bad.
That's accessible. And when you weigh it up against like GoPros and what us as consumer creatives, if I can put it that way, are using, it really is accessible. What should we be aware of when buying a camera like this?
Sure. So, I mean, there are a couple of points you need to keep in mind with 360 cameras. I would say battery life's one of the biggest things you need to keep in mind. What's the point of filming a 360 video if it cuts out after 5 minutes, right?
You can see half the sky.
Exactly, exactly. Then the second big thing I would recommend people keep in mind is micro SD expansion. Okay. So, you know, onboard storage is fine, but what's the point of having onboard storage if it's going to run out? You know, 360 videos are huge in size.
Yeah.
And then the third thing would probably be more for the active user, or if you're going on hikes or something. You know, water and dust resistance is a nice bonus. So those are the three things I would keep in mind.
And that certainly applies to me, man. I generally push my technology to the very brink. I suppose then support editing, those sorts of things. What platforms support this technology? That becomes really important as well.
Sure. So the most prominent example, I would say, of 360 photo and video supports Facebook. Facebook lets you upload both of them natively, and the cool thing about you don't need a VR headset for it because you can just lift your phone up and, you know, look at 360 videos like that.
Wow.
And the same applies for 360 video. There's also YouTube, we've got which supports 360 video, and we've got, of course, Google's Cardboard VR headset. So it's a pretty healthy lineup so far, and I think it'll only expand.
I know there is always a novelty label attached to a lot of these new things. Even like a new phone design sometimes we see come and go despite how cool it is. Is this a novelty? Is this here to say, what's the next step, do you think?
Yeah, I think we will see a couple of smartphones touting it. We've seen at CES a company already produced a prototype. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be as popular as like your dual camera smartphones. You could have asked me, you know, 3 months ago, would dual camera smartphones be popular? And I would say they'd definitely be more popular than 360. But at the same time, it's a fun kind of accessory.
Very much so, and I think now, obviously, the responsibility is on our shoulders to start creating awesome content.
Exactly.
If you want to grow it, go out there, get yourself a camera. They are accessible, and a chance to do something really, really cool. Hadlee, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
You might have one of the best jobs in the world, man. Aside from the rest of our Expresso crew this morning, having so much fun. Alana, what is coming up?